Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US Indices for Tuesday, August 17. And as you may know, and I'm going to go back over it today, yesterday I talked about this wave 3 ending coming into the end of August. So we've got the Jackson Hole meeting at the 26th to the 28th. That's Thursday and Friday. So we don't really expect anything to come out of that. There won't be any tapering because the Feds have been very clear on that won't be until next year. But still, it could be, sell the rumor, buy the fact type of thing. So we're going to be looking from here till the Jackson Hole meeting. We're going to looking at a much shorter term wave count that would fit this wave 3 being involved. Now, where that top comes in, would it be on the 25th or the 26th? Would it be on the 30th, on the Monday, September the 1st? I'm not quite sure, but I think it's prudent and cautious and the right thing to do to look at this particular count in the indices and also in the stocks as well. And let's see if we can make it fit and get it right. Now, if we're wrong, of course, the market's going to continue to the upside. But yeah, let's go in and take a look at this. It's not going to do us any harm. Do you know what I mean? All we can be is wrong. But if we're right, well, then we've protected ourselves at that point. So let's go in and have a look at this rather. So as mentioned yesterday, we're looking at the count like this with wave 4 here with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then tightening up with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. Yes, there is a bit of an overlap here, and then looking for 5 waves up to this top, and this date's the 30th of August. So, even with with equity trades and so on and so on, I think being out, at least over that 25th, 26th and 27th and on that Friday, so to speak, so you don't get caught on the Monday. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Now, I could easily be wrong because I'm not an expert in economics. So, I don't know how they play the game. But from this wave 4 here, all we're going to be doing is counting up as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, finishing at that point. And then we're going to just sit quietly, protected, and then we'll take it from there. If we need to go, if we see a wave count that takes us higher, then we'll move with that as such. So I'm just coming into this week and next week as being conservative. So that's what we're going to be working on. And like I say, if I'm wrong, it's not such a big deal because we just keep working it to the upside. But I just feel that we need to be we've had such a nice run. We just shouldn't sort of fall asleep and think it's going to go on forever. Yes, they're still printing and they're not tapering, and we should still be going up and further. But we never know what causes this particular correction here. So let's go in a little bit further with this. So where are we on the daily? So we'll go to the 4-hour chart. So picking it up from this wave 4, we're looking at this as wave 1 here and 2 here, and then we're going up for wave 3. So we'll need to understand that, and then wave 4, and then wave 5, and this takes us in, this is on the 30th here, but just gives us a bit of just gives us a bit more structure, I guess, and a bit better management of it all, because I just don't want to ignore the situation as it is. There's a good possibility that this can be the case. We're seeing the Russell get a bit weaker, and I don't know, stocks like Amazon that have been trading down, they could also pull the market down. It only needs a couple more of those to turn as well. So we need to kind of line all those ducks up in a way. So yeah, anyway, that's the 4-hour chart. That gives us a bit of an idea, and the 1-hour chart will polish that off a little bit further in here for this. So From this wave 4 here, we're looking at wave 1 and 2 here, and then we're going up for wave 3 here, and then 4 here, and then 5 here. So that's our little pathway. Will it all fit, or will we end up past this situation by that date as well? Do you know what I mean? And if that's the case, well, then that's fine. If I've got something to grab hold of, like, oh, we've got an extra impulse wave to the high, so that means we've got to be going higher. So, you know, there's only going to be positive news coming out of the hole, you know? So, yeah, anyway, it's not going, like I said, it's not going to give us any harm to look at this. So, yeah, so from this wave 2 low here, we've got this blue wave 1 and 2 here, and then I'm counting this up to blue wave 3 here. So we've had that little spike in here from yesterday, so we'll just pop that up there a little bit. I haven't pulled that apart there just yet. I'm not really concerned about that at all. And then we'll have a wave 4 somewhere in here, then a wave 5 for the 3rd and the 4th here, and then the 5th. So we could be moving up a bit higher for all of this. Of course, we've got 500 here. So 5 is the second strongest number after 1. So we should be sort of, and we're in a series of, we're not in 1s and 2s anymore, where, you know, this is halfway through the trend here. So that's the other half here that could be flipped over. But now we're in 3s and 4s here, or 4s and 5s is probably the correct way to to say that. So somewhere up into this space here. So it just depends on how we hug this, you know, this number 500 here for this. So that gives you a bit of an idea of, you know, tightening the wave count up to have a possible turn at this point. Is you know, how confident I am in this? Well, I don't think I need to be confident or not confident about it, because it's just a count. It's the most conservative count that I've got, and I think we need to play it out. That's all. I don't think it's about being right or wrong. I think it's just a matter of doing the right thing at the right time, and that's what I feel like I'm doing here. So, you know, while the printing press is continuing, then generally the bull market will continue. There will be, you know, there will be corrections, and, you know, once we get that intermediate wave 3 there, then, you know, we should be in for a sizable, lengthy, you know, corrective pattern at that particular point. So also the important thing of this as well is that as this occurs here, any stocks that you're trading as well, you know, need to fall into place as well. You know, this will also sort of, all of this will tie into, you know, the yields and the dollar and all these sorts of things as well. So there could be turning points right across the board in all of this. So we've got to kind of be a little bit mindful of that. Even in Bitcoin as well, you know, we're looking for a B wave up in Bitcoin and up at the 50,000 and vibrating there for a while. And once it vibrates there for a while, we'll work out if it's support or resistance and then move from that point. So yeah, that's that. Let's just have a look at the Russell. Now, I've also changed the Russell count as well here. I mean, when you look at the Russell just for a moment here, if I just go to maybe the weekly chart I haven't seen, you can see that here we've got wave 1 up here somewhere, and we've got this wave 3 here, and we've been in this wave 4 here. So I remember the Russell was kind of leading to the upside, wasn't it? And then it just stopped and just traveled sort of sideways. So I think that we've got a good possibility, if the S&P count is right, then we need to label this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's a larger wave 4 than I already had, because it just wouldn't get up off the ground here for this. So coming back to the daily chart here, I've labeled it like this with a 3 here and a 4 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And yes, I know once again we've got a bit of an overlap there, so, you know, there's good cause to, you know, look at this count slightly differently. But from that high here, we've got 5 waves down here, which I had as a wave C before, and I was looking at this as being 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, but I just noticed it's just not going to get up there in time, you know. It may, but if it also takes this low out here, then we know that it's doomed after that, because that's an impulse wave at that point. So, yeah. How this will play out. Will this B wave get more complicated here? I'm not quite sure. You know, we may get a bit of an effort to move up here before we move back down or something of that nature. So this B wave could become more complicated and move over here. I'm not quite sure about that. I haven't really sort of wrapped my head around that. It's really sitting at this 50-60% retracement level in here as well, from that high to that low. So it just can't get above it at that point. So if it was going to go into a wave 4, we could say that it's kind of interesting, because there's also Amazon as well that's possibly leading to the downside, because we've got to kind of figure out who the leaders are and the followers are. That's if I'm correct in this. So, but if the Russell is also leading this, then the Russell's also going to be the first out of the gate at this wave 4 here as well. So that's going to be helpful as well. We'll know that now. So we'll just see how it plays out. Yeah, coming down here, I've got it as an A and a B and a C wave here for the A wave, and a B wave and a C wave. But we could have this coming down here as wave 1 and 2 here, and then for 3, 4 and 5. I'm not quite sure how this wave 4 will play out. We'll need to look at the target zone for that as well. But yeah, that's how I've got this. So we'll just keep a bit of an eye on it. But we removed any trades here now. And yeah, that's that. So the NASI here. So I've been looking at it. I mean, this one has been giving me a little bit of a hard time across here. It's just sticking to the 15,000, and it spiked down and took out our stops, which was annoying. And now it will, obviously move up on that point. So anyway, we don't need these here now. So just remove those. I mean, if you're still in this market, then stay in it, because we've still got, 8 days to the upside or something. So yeah, wave 3 and 4 here. I know that you could put wave 4 here, and you could probably count this as wave 1 up here as well, and wave 2 at that point. There's a good case for both of them, so I'm being open-minded about that. But what really sort of interests me is the timing here for this as well here. And also too, when we get here, what stocks are going to be, leading to the downside first. So, what's going to pull the other ones down, and where are their wave counts and so on. But 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then going up for wave 5 in this case. But all this anyway, so let's just cut through to the 4-hour chart here. So I don't know if I've got, this one here, I've got a kind of, this is not quite right yet. I'm not sort of happy with this, because I can't see how it can complete all of this within that time frame, these particular patterns here. So yeah, I still got to get my head around it a little bit. But we've got this week and next week to resolve that. Also too, we've got this, we got this extra spike here, because I was looking at this being up for, making a 5-wave structure up here, but it only left us with 3 waves. So we need to look at this now as the A wave to here, the B wave to here, and the C wave to here. And now that it's taken our stops, now that it will move up there. So that's a little bit annoying. So there's a bit of an issue on if I've got the right degree of structure within all of this, but we'll just count it up in line with the S&P. So I'll probably make some changes here for this. But just to let you know that this is what we're looking at now. We just didn't get that nice impulse wave up there. I thought that we may, then we just come down and clipped us out here while the S&P was doing that little wave 4 business, So yeah, I think that we'll be looking up for wave 1 up here somewhere. And then we'll be seeing wave 2 back here. So if you wanted to move into this, then let's just have a look on the tick chart. But just before we go there, we'll just be looking like this. So we would be looking for an ABC to come back a little bit before pushing off again. So if you can get that ABC thing happening, then it will be here, because that one's got to top out at that point. Let's just go to, I'm just going to go to 10 ticks to see if I can see it there for us a little bit more. Oh, way off base here. 15.1, 15, that's all of that. I might just shorten that up a little bit. Just 1 second, let me just finish off this. Well, I'll need a bit more time, but that's wave 1 and 2 here. And then we'll need to look at this as a third wave here. So that's going to give us, that's kind of got to be wave 1 in here somewhere, and a third wave here and here. So we've got wave 1 here and 2 here, and 1 here and 2 here. And then we've got the third wave, which will be 1 and 2, probably all of that at least for the third here, a bit short for the fourth. So we think there's still a bit more to the upside. Let's have a look at it on 20 ticks. So that will take us up. It will probably hit 15.2. That's quite a way up, isn't it? So that's all of, yeah, it's a bit dodgy there. But we'll just look at that as 1 and 2 here. Still, it does give us 5 waves down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll need to be a bit careful about that. But this one here would be 1 and 2 here. And then this would be 1 and 2 here. And that's 1 and 2, and that's 3, 4, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's just the third wave. There's still a, that's corrective as well. So there's still a bit more to that. Still a bit more. So we still need, what we need here is some sort of fourth wave to come into play, and then we need a fifth wave up here to finish, and then we'll get our ABC. So we're going to be sort of up a little bit higher here before it pulls back. Okay, so just to let you know that, so you can just sort of wait a little bit for this to pull back. I'll need to do a bit more work on that. I'm just going into the guessing game a little bit there. Let's have a look at stock. So I haven't changed this here, this Amazon here. Now, I don't see, if that wave 3 that we're looking at for the SP 500 and the NASDAQ is going to fall into place, then I can't see, if we've still got this as wave 1 here and wave 2 here, I can't see how this is going to play out all the way up here as wave 3, 4 and 5 and be in a bigger bull market at this point. So I think that we need to pretty much rearrange this here. So it'll be something, a bit of an upside down thing here, in not quite like this, but probably an A wave, a B wave and a C wave. But I think it's okay to trade long here for the next few days, and because we've got that low in place here now that we're looking for. But I think that we're just looking for an A, B, C here. So if you're going to trade long here, then just trade to the 3,500 area here, and we'll also have a look at it at that point. But yeah, on the daily chart as we looked at yesterday, we're looking at this. I've always been a little bit perplexed about this, well, from this low here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for this. So I don't know if this is the right count either here, but I can't see, you know, if the S&P is going to turn on this wave 3 here, and the NASDAQ is going to do that as well, then we can't look at this as wave 1 here and 2 here, and then wave 1 and 2 here, because it's going to end up like way up here, and it's just going to be out there all by itself, you know. So I can't see that sort of happening. So I think that we just need to be a little bit cautious with this here. So in one way or another, we would be looking for probably the A wave down here, something of this nature here. So it's all of this for the next 2 weeks is just going to be a little bit cautious. That's all I'm sort of working on at the moment, you know. So like I mentioned, I could certainly be wrong, but I'm just going to try and keep us a bit safe at this point, you know, because while we've been in this bull market, everybody's been looking for tops, but we stayed positive, and you know, so we were against the crowd, and we'll be against they all think it's you know, it's you know, that they've changed their minds now, you know, so they'll be on the other side. So I think we could be something like this here, you know. So this is what we've got to be a little bit careful of at this point. And obviously that will be the wave 4 down at that point. Now, like I mentioned before, I don't know if it's correct, but we need to move past it. And I think that it will need some big stocks like this to pull us down, you know. So once we get to, we could also view this as if this market moves quite swiftly up to, you know, within this week and next week to this wave B here at the 3,500, and the other markets are topping out, well, then they'll pull back down together. That's what I'm sort of thinking. So, but like I say, you can certainly go long there. So being long on 3,300, the 300 is a tested support with a little classic trading levels pattern in there. If I go back again here for this, if I just go back to the 100 ticks here, you'll see that, I'll call this low in here, but I can also see too that this is 1 and 2 and 3 in here. So it hasn't quite finished. So we're going to get a little classic trading levels pattern here. There'll be 1, 2, 3. So basically there'll be, at some point, there'll be the first high above the level, just like we looked at with the NASDAQ just a moment ago. And then this pullback here and then pulling up there. So the trick would be to bring that over here and there. You could even buy the pullback at that point. But going from here to here, that would be that's the safe trade, put it that way. Okay, so anyway, there's a trade there, there's money to be had. Yeah, so I'll leave you with that at that point. So that's Amazon, and this, there's no real sort of change in Alphabet. We're looking for, you know, we've always been looking for this particular top here, bring this over a bit over here. So yeah, we're not, the only other thing that, I mean, that still sort of bothers me here is that this, what we need to be careful of here is that this really sort of takes its time here. So yeah, as a wave 3 here, it's not looking very good compared to wave 1 here. So what we've got to be careful of here, and the way we'll resolve this, is that if I've made a mistake and that's wave 3 there, and this is wave 4 here as such, because it's a nice sort of sloping wave 4, then okay, I see even another count in there that works. But if we put wave 4 here, then we just need to count this one up here as the wave 5 here. So I think that just moving these out of the way for a second and putting that wave 5 in here somewhere and looking at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to this point, I think that this is what we have to do. It might go to the 3,000 and everything, but we've got trades in here as well that we've got to protect. So we're just going to take the money off the table at 2,800, because 800 is a profit-taking number anyway. So well, let's just assume that we'll get to here. It might go a little bit further, but there should be some sort of thing. So there could be a top in here early for this as well at that number. There will be some sort of reaction there for sure. Yeah, so yeah, just tightening that up a little bit. So we're taking profit at 2.8 on that. And with Apple here, we're slight change in this as well. So from wave 4 here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 here now, and we're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in here. So we are long here on the intraday, so we can take this up to the levels here. I think from this is a medium level here, okay, so we can go to 53, so that's where we'll take you where you want to take money off the table. That's all of group 1. 51, 52, and 53 is all of group 1. Okay, so that will be our target there for our because we've got some little intraday trades in here, I think. So and one trade back here as well. So 153 is the target there. You may get to 155 and so on, but let's just see. This is a classic trading levels pattern here happening anyway. So the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then the correction. So it will look like this here. So the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level. We will go to group 1. It may go a bit higher, and group 1 is always number 3. And then we'll see that roll back over at this point. So in this case, if we see the setup here again, well, then we'll go long. But otherwise, we can see this retest the 150 and then drop from that point. That's why this is such a good setup, because it really draws a line in the sand at this point. It allows for the vibration, the profit taking, and all of the, the profit taking, the stops being taken out, the value buyers coming in and pushing it up, and then nobody else coming in, and then sort of rolling back over and taking those stops out. And then if the value buyers come back in again and gets up there, then this is where the battle is. It's all down into this here, and this little pattern here will be the same as this larger pattern here. So we're going to wait for that, but otherwise it can fall back to that point. And as a wave 3 here, it can come back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So it's quite a significant thing here. So you need to we need to have some some consideration at this point for that. And for Square, I'm looking for a top to be in play now. So wave 3, as I mentioned yesterday, we've been stopped out. We've moved our stop up. So wave 3, an A and a B and a C here for wave 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish off here. Yes, wave 4 does overlap wave 1 here. So it may not be the right count, but I wanted to protect what we've got here at the moment. And we'll see how this plays out. Yeah. Yeah, I'll give that a bit more time, and then we'll have a look at the tick chart on this, because I've got to see if it's a series of 1s and 2s to the downside or an ABC to the downside, and we go further up at that point. But I wanted to protect our profits there. And Facebook here, I've rearranged Facebook back to our original count again. So I've changed it back 3 times at least. So it deserved to have tomatoes thrown at me, but it's tricky business, this. So wave 3 and 4 here with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, then 1 and 2 in here and 3 and 4. So last time we spoke, we were looking at this, not the last time, the time before that, we're looking at this as a little 1 and 2 up here. Now I've made it very conservative, and we're just looking for 5 waves up here that will play out this week and next, and then finish. So like I said at the beginning with all of this, is that we're just aiming for the end of the month at the Jackson Hole. We're also just tracking the last little 5 waves up here. We know that, picking a top in a bull market is it's not silly. You just got to be aware that, that you picking bottoms and tops, you can be wrong very, very easily. So, yeah, we just need to be a bit mindful, but there's no change in all of this. So if we go to the tick chart here, so yeah, in an odd way, before when we were looking at this, we were looking up here as a 1 and 2 here, but now we're looking at it as a wave 4. Okay, so a slightly different thing, but it hasn't changed our trade at all because we still had wave 1 here, the ABC here for wave 2, then looking for 1 and 2, and now we're sort of moving up here for 3 and 4 and 5 and so on. So yeah, we're on track here. Let's just, obviously this looks like a, you know, another wave 1 up here, so 1 and 2 and so on. So that we'll look at all that tomorrow. So yeah, we can. I don't need any of these. Just keep that out of the way a little bit here, because we've got to wait for that wave 2 to come back in here. I'm not quite sure, but there'll be a wave 1 there somewhere, okay? And then there'll be a wave 2 pulling back here. That's what I'm trying to point out. And then a 3, 4, and 5 to go up there for that one. So we'll just keep working that count, and that should take us up until you know, late next week. So yeah, a good little trade. If you feel like getting into this again, I mean, we've already got 2 positions in here, but if you haven't got a position in here, then we're going into the third of the third of the third here. So once that tops out there, wherever that may top out, there'll be some sort of little correction here and then a push up here. It won't be as big as that, but it will be, you know, in that vein there somewhere. That's the third wave in there to there. So, yeah, there could be a bit more to the top there, but, yeah, a bit of a classic trading levels pattern at the 365, which is the lower end of minor group 2 here. So 65, 72, and 80 at that point. And Tesla. So as you know, yesterday I rearranged this count as well. And not that it makes much difference, actually. We're just putting wave A here with an A, B, and C here. And it's just the doggy scratching in the background. Hey, Minky, chill out, dude. Minky. Thanks, buddy. So wave A here, and an A and a B, because I counted this down. It does count quite nicely as a B wave, I must say. That would leave this as a C wave here, and the C wave is a little bit dodgy. There's obviously things wrong with it, as a 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 here, because we've got overlap here, so we could look at that differently. It has sort of fallen out of bed here. I've got this as 1 and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here. So still looking for one more push to the upside here. It could be possible to put wave 5, put this wave 4 in here and put this wave 5 here to have a top in play here. But I don't want to go there just yet. So I just want to look for one more little move up through here for this. So let's just go into the tick chart. So we get some more data here. So yeah, as 1 and 2 and 3 here, ABC for 4. And then from 4 here, we're looking for 1 and 2 and 3 here. And I thought we had wave 4 already done and dusted, but obviously Tesla has, you know, got a lot of things happening in different countries as well, and the whole China sort of debacle situation. So I don't know how his factories are going over there in that regard. But I suppose, you know, even when war goes on, I mean, basically there's one empire crumbling, isn't there? And there's another empire rising. That's pretty much the size of it. But banking and finance and business goes on while the war is doing its thing, you know. So yeah, it's beyond my research, but fascinating as it all is. I was thinking that this is an A wave, a B wave, 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. So that could actually come up here further and then come down here and then push off up there. If I'm wrong, well, then this wave 5 and C is already in here. The wave 4, 38.2% retracement level is about there somewhere. So if you see the 700 as a support and you see a little classic trading levels pattern sitting in here, then you know that that you can go long again at that point there. I'm still long in this actually, but I've only got a small amount, so it's not worth, you know, It's just pocket money. So, yeah, I think that's sort of where we are at this particular stage here. If we get this 5 waves down here from the top here, because it is a top, as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then we're going to have to be careful of the 50-60% retracement level. So if I take that top there and take it down to the 72 just as a example there, then it's going to leave this little area through here for this as the resistance at that point. So if you're going to go long, you definitely need to get that pattern right at that particular point there. Okay, I'm going to remove that and we'll work that when we get there. Yeah, so that's that. Just double checking that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we could have the low in place here, you know. Looking at this here as in the third wave as 1 and 2 and 3 here, and 4 here and 5 here. So that little wave 4, that could go in there. I mean there, sorry, and that wave 3 could go there. And that little wave 5 can go there. So it's possible to have that there. A little bit tight, I have to say, but we need to look at that again at that point. Yeah, so that's just Ethereum. So we don't need that. Alrighty, so that's that. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.